Hello and welcome to whatever, I guess this is part 6 of our series on mastering ThinkorSwim. What?
Platform immersion.
Immersing you in platform. That was a little weird.
Well, it wasn't too weird, I guess.
Last time around, we were talking all about the charts. That one was a long one with the spirally thing and all that.
Yeah, I hope people clicked off before we started doing that.
Well, we had some good stuff after that, but I mean, it was funny that I was like, oh, it's just charting. This will take 5 minutes, and it ended up being an hour and a half just on setting up and manipulating the chart and so on. So we were here with charts. Let's move next on to the options chain. This section is going to be pretty hardcore. So this is the no, actually better. Order types and getting orders set up. That's way more important. So when you're looking at a chart, there are several ways that you can go about trading. So you're going to see on the right side here, we didn't even talk about this actually. There are these side tabs. There are like live news pertaining to the symbol that's entered that I don't really look at ever, to be honest. We have level 2, which is going to be talking about the different, this is going to be showing the different bids and asks prices of, in this case, SPY, whatever symbol you have in, depending on the exchange. Different exchanges can be trading the same asset and have some slight deviation in price. Dashboard basically is just going to give you a big buy and sell button. Chart, obviously, we have that here. We're always going to leave that on. Then there's big buttons, which is buy market and sell market. So let's talk about order entry. Then we have.
Oh, were you going to go in? So just looking at the big buttons page right there, you saw how the default order quantity was 100.
Yes.
So you can actually change that up in setup.
Yes.
So that might be an important thing to go over. Yeah.
So under order defaults, we can go down here and we can change this to 1. And we can all set this to 1. Basically, this means the default order quantity when we set up an order, and then order quantity increment. What that means is if we hit this plus or minus, if that's set to 100, every time we hit plus or minus, it's going to add or subtract 100 shares.
I don't know about you, but I'm not options at 100 shares.
And you have to set these separately. So this is the number of shares of stock if you hit stocks. Options, number of contracts. Futures, number of contracts. Futures options, again, number of contracts. And Forex, the just default lot size that we're going to be trading. But we'll just set this to 1. There we go. And now if we hit +1, it'll just, add 1. We start at 1. It's easier. So here, if we hit buy market, market is closed right now, but it'll pop up this here, which is the order entry bar. Here we can see all the information pertaining to order. We have the asset class, essentially, stock. Are we going long or short? We're going long. The number of shares. Sorry. We can add or subtract shares. And if we go below 1, it'll just switch it to a short position and switch this automatically to sell. This video is actually going to go back into the chart section, I think. No, it won't. We have type ETF, exchange trade fund. That's because SPY is an ETF. Symbol, of course, SPY. That's going to match whatever's here when we hit buy market. In this case, MKT. That means that we're entering a market order. There are, as you can see, a number of different order types. We have market order, limit order, stop order, stop limit, trailing stop limit, and I don't even know what an MOC or an LOC order is. That's never something I've used. To see, what does it do? MOC, LOC. I have no idea what it is. This is also important. Day, I don't know what GTC AXT is, this stuff here, but the two most common order types are day and GTC. GTC is good till canceled. What that means is if it's a day order and we put it in, that order will remain active until that trading session closes for that day. And then upon that market day's close, that order will automatically be canceled. Versus if we set it to GTC, that order will remain active, and the cost of that order, like if let's say we have $1,000 in our account and the order will take up, $500. That $500 that will be necessary to fill that order will remain locked up essentially until either that order is either filled or canceled. Versus with the day order, the order remains active until it's either filled or the trading session closes, at which point it is automatically canceled. Then for exchange, it's by default here set to best. But with that, you don't need to mess with. With options, this is where you can change the exchange, but you always want to leave it at best, because best means it's going to try and get you filled at whatever exchange is offering the lowest price if you're buying or the highest price if you are selling. So you always obviously want to get the most efficient fill, so just leave that set to best. As far as these settings here, we can also attach rules. This is something that's going to apply more to options, as far as stops on options, but it does let us do certain things. So we can go and very precisely set certain details. EXT is extended hours, GTC plus the extended hours trading session. That's what it is. Okay, this just explained it to us.
Yep.
So if you have it won't cancel the order until after the extended hours trading session.
By the way, MOC and LOC. MOC stands for market on close. I just looked it up on the ThinkorSwim site. I don't know the purpose of it either, but what it does is, when I say I don't know the purpose, I don't know the functional, like why you'd want to use it. But what it does is it keeps an order dormant until the 20 minutes before closing. So it's an order that's kind of set to go off at close.
Okay, so it's like a limit order that triggers at a, not based on a price, but on a, so it's like a market order that triggers at a specific time.
Yeah, at the close. Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know why you'd want to do that personally.
So it's market on close or limit on close.
That's what just looked it up on the internet, and that's what it said. So sticking with it.
Okay, that's interesting. I've never heard of anyone ever using that, but okay, it exists. They made a thing that we didn't ask for.
It's a feature.
It's a feature. Yeah. That's the first kind of basics of the order bar. Here we're also going to get to blast all. That's also something that's going to apply more to options or first order being filled triggers all the other orders. OCO is order cancels orders. So first triggers the second to be canceled. So how we would use that is like if we wanted to, let's go here to like, let's make this a limit order at 430. Sorry, 40. And then we wanted to add a this isn't something I commonly use. I will be honest with. Oh, here it is. Okay. And we can make this one like 390. So this would be like if we were trading breakouts and we wanted an OCO, order canceled order, is like if we wanted a short order below where the market is and a long order above where the market is. So depending on which way it breaks out, it triggers one or the other. We can have an OCO where we have a buy stop above and a sell stop below in order to get in. And at this point, if you haven't seen our price action series, watch the video about how we can actually use stop orders to enter positions. That is a thing. Stops are not exclusively for getting out. But we can have it so that if the market, is moving around within a range and we want to get in or out, depending on whether it breaks above or below a certain point, when it breaks, let's say, above, then that automatically cancels the short order that is below. So these are just different ways of setting those up in sequence. Generally speaking, the only one that you're ever really going to need to use in real life, the only one that I have ever actually used with respect to trading where I'm like making serious money, is single order. And for some certain options, things I've used blast all. I've used blast all for like overlapping calendar spreads, but that's a really, really niche situation that you guys are really not going to have to deal with. I certainly hope you never have to. That was during like right at the start of COVID, and maybe I'll talk about that at some point. But this is how we set up orders. So we can go to here. Let's say for a short sell limit, we want 450. We do that, and then we hit confirm and send. It'll give us another message saying, okay, you're going to send a short position, a sell limit order, selling at 450. That's going to cost you this amount because this is hypothetically a margin account, which has 2-to-1 leverage. We send that, and then we'll see here at exactly 450, we now have our limit order placed. So if the market hits 450, we will be selling short, and then we can move that order up. Let's say we want to put it at 460. We can do that. We already talked about this in previous. And if you want to cancel it, you just hit this X, and we get a message saying order canceled. Active trader is another function the chart has, or the chart tool has, I should say. Active trader is actually going to show us the current bid and ask and where the buyers and sellers are and how many shares are being bought or sold. Because the SPY is closed, I'm going to pull up the ES, which open. And here we can actually watch people trading, and we can see how many contracts, how many sell limit orders and buy limit orders currently stand at each price. And when this number decreases, it's because someone is submitting a sell limit, a sell market order that's hitting right here, the nearest buy limit at 4404. And when this number increases, it's because someone is submitting a new buy limit order. Vice versa for the ask side over here.
It's like a game.
It is indeed a game.
No.
Then we can also hit trade here up at the top, and it'll just give us the option to buy market and a quantity. These are all things that you really shouldn't be using, to be very blunt. Like if you're getting in, my recommendation is, generally speaking, if you're getting in, it should be with a limit order at a price that you determined a long time ago, and with risk management already in place. So in the next video, we're going to talk about setting up stop orders, and that will be now, I guess. Well, is there anything else that you want to add here as far as just entering orders?
No, not in terms of just general entering orders. I think you covered it. I'm sure there will be more. So there are more options with or more options with options trading, but just in general, I think you covered how to enter the orders and the importance of those right side tabs.
Yep, we're going to talk about stop orders and OCO orders kind of in a bit more detail in the next video. But being able to put in your orders is, of course, a necessary skill to be able to trade. If you can't get in and out of positions efficiently and free of execution errors, you're going to have a problem. So with that said, we will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.